The time is 12:03. You're tuned into the mid-morning talk with me, Fazila Isaac, on Salam Media. Now, our community focus segment, we are joined by Susan Harwood, who is the founder of Bags of Love. Thank you for joining us, Susan.
Hi, Fazila. Thank you so much for including me in your show.
I was going through your socials, and I think the work that you guys are doing is absolutely beautiful. We need so much more of this in our communities. But let's start with you. Who is Susan? Give us a bit of background into yourself.
Okay, I'm a freelance photographer, copywriter. I live in Johannesburg and I have two daughters in their 20s, and I've been married for 31 years. I run quite a few outreach groups around the area, and I'm very active in the Dainfern community in various projects to do with upliftment.
And tell me what motivated the Bag of Love Foundation coming into fruition. I know it's you and your daughters as well. What brought this into play for you guys?
Um, well, two of my passions are philanthropy and conservation. I'm on the board of a private game reserve as well in an outreach capacity, and we focus on uplifting the surrounding communities. And as far back as I can remember, I've been involved in feeding schemes, and about 16 or so years ago, I was really inspired by a Canadian friend who posted on social media. She posted an idea about filling up gently worn handbags with hygiene essentials and luxuries and giving them out to homeless women. So I started doing that on a really, really small scale, but I just found it so rewarding and satisfying. And it mushroomed into putting together dignity packs for survivors of gender-based violence for ladies and children. And we have been supplying places like, places of safety, including Teddy Bear Clinic and the Peers Foundation, which we do whenever we can. And during COVID, we opened up our garage every Wednesday for donations in Dainfern. And we just ended up receiving tons of food, blankets, clothing, toiletries, which all was distributed to various locations throughout Gauteng and Limpopo. And we got together some teams, volunteers from this wonderful community that we live in. And it continued throughout lockdown and continues today, although there has been a big decline in the amount of food we receive. So we're always in great need of extra supplies, especially non-perishables.
And what roles do your daughters play in this? Because I can tell you have the passion for this. I mean, you have been doing it for so many years, and it's so nice that it has filtered down to your daughters as well. What role do they play in this?
Well, it was a lot easier for them when they were, early days and, at primary school and then early days in high school, because they had more free time on their hands. But now the one is so busy. She has a full-time job and she works really, really hard. The other daughter is still studying, and she's been really, working hard at studying to become a preschool foundation phase teacher. So they help in a big way, though. Whenever they can, they help pack dignity packs. They sort out some of the donations that we get in, and they help and try and bring in their friends to help whenever they can and create awareness about bags of love.
And obviously you have started this because you've identified a few challenges, in the communities that you are serving. What are some of these challenges that you've identified?
Wow, there's so many, but one of the biggest things is keeping girls in school. And, we just never seem to be able to supply. There's a huge demand for sanitary pads, obviously, to keep girls going throughout, all the entire year. So we need to try and step that up and get more sanitary pads. And we've tried the reusable type as well as the regular ones. And we would prefer people to help us with the reusable ones because a lot of people can't afford their own sort of sanitary wear, sanitary pads, and that's a huge challenge. Also, stationery for children, especially in junior schools. A lot of these schools don't provide them with adequate stationery, so that's a big thing. Educating people about GBV and family planning and environmental issues, that's sorely lacking in every community. So we'd like to see that stepped up and trying ourselves to get more involved in sustainable projects.
And I know when you talk about the stationery and things like that, I don't think people actually think about it in that way. They haven't recognized that as being a real problem where your child goes to school and your child doesn't have the stationery, and unfortunately there are others who have, and then your child kind of feels a certain way. So I love the fact that
Yes.
you've zoned in and focused on these details that seem so minor yet make such a huge difference. I love that. I did see on your socials, you have a lot of stationery packs that you guys pack, and dignity packs for, and that is absolutely beautiful because this is actually getting to the core of what people actually need, which is beautiful from Bags of Love. What are some of the activities that Bags of Love engages in?
Okay, just before we move on to that, I just forgot to mention school shoes. These black school shoes, whether they're lace-ups or buckle-ups, are always in short supply. And sadly, a lot of kids go to school without shoes, or with the wrong shoes, or just with a broken pair of khakis or whatever. So that's also very important. We provide a lot. You've probably seen it on the social media that we provide a lot of crisis relief, particularly for people whose shacks have burned down. And this is an ongoing problem in all communities where they don't have adequate protection between the houses, and they don't have power. So they use candles and very crude methods for cooking. So that's mainly we've been helping Whipslut and Tarbell and Becky, and at one stage Alex Township as well. Groceries we provide to quite a lot of people, especially a little preschool aftercare in Tarbell and Becky. So we've got very involved in there, and we've got a group of ladies in the community here in Dainfern who provide them also with a nice side of things, with little parties for birthdays and Christmas packs, and we're busy actually packing Christmas presents for the little kids there. Also bags for new mums, and of course, as I said, rape survivors. We provide food for soup kitchens, such as the Ikamaleng Foundation, which is highly effective group of people in Deep Blue. And they also provide aftercare services for children. So they go there after school, and they've got people who look after them to do homework. And we provide stationery for that as well. And we've provided, through a nice sponsor, some tables and chairs and umbrellas. So, yeah, I mean, there's just so many different areas that we, that we help, that we get involved in.
That's a considerable amount of work. It takes a lot of cost to get this work to be done. What does Bags of Love need in order for it to reach its full potential?
Wow. We have some people in our community who have been, particularly over the last 2 years, providing monthly funding to enable us to buy groceries, for example, to the preschools and the soup kitchens. So obviously, donations by way of funding is always welcome. We just want to alleviate hunger. That's one of the biggest things. Provide hope and care to downtrodden, jobless people, and we really like to get involved in people such as the Green Hope, who assist in trying to clean up beach food. And to the guys, there's a team in northern Johannesburg especially. It's called LLA, Live Life Always, and currently headed by a man called Lovemore Robson. And we try and supply them with gardening gloves to protect their hands, and waste bags, refuse bags, and tongs to clean up, deep solutions to clean up the northern suburbs, and they do a fantastic job for that. And we try and give them monthly food parcels. And there's a team of 10, they're all unemployed. And the food parcels don't really go that far for their families. So we'd like to up those and get more involved in, basically, it sort of seems to be going back to food all the time. Nobody can work without food, obviously.
Absolutely. Yeah. Susan, we're just going to take a quick short ad break. When we come back, I'd like to unpack the impact that this has had on the communities that you serve, but we'll speak on that straight after this break. Stay tuned.
Okay, thanks.
It's a new beginning. It's a new era. Salam Media, humanitarian journalism.
Thousands of Syrian Palestinian refugees and Lebanese children do not have access to education. Amman means safety and is a school that provides formal education from kindergarten to grade 9. Africa Muslims Agency aims to provide 650 children with education that will change the trajectory of their lives and their families' lives. Fulfill your intention by fulfilling their dreams. Donate 16,000 Rand per child or any amount. Go to africamuslimsagency.co.za or call us on 011 834 8685. Africa Muslims Agency, empowering, educating, inspiring.
When the perfect blend of stylish decor, exquisite halal cuisine, and warm hospitality come together, it could only mean Al Bayt Lodge, your true home away from home. Al Bayt is the ideal heaven for families, business people, and tourists, with its 4-star family rooms and other luxurious facilities, conveniently situated close to Port Elizabeth Airport, the beach, and other amenities. Your stay will be truly unforgettable, as you'll be taking home lasting memories of the warm hospitality, the serenity and tranquility that Al Bayt has to offer. For reservations, call 041 583 6415 or visit www.albaytlodge.co.za.
Give charity without delay, for it stands in the way of calamities. For child-headed households in Bloemendal in the Eastern Cape, the daily diet consists of white bread and a carton of cheap juice or sugar water, known locally as the poppy water diet. Make a difference to that one child or family. The Al-Fida Foundation has over the past 13 years worked on the ground and gathered the largest database in the Eastern Cape region of Muslim Zakah recipients. Phone our offices at 041 484 1288 or visit our website at www.alfida.co.za. The Al-Fida Foundation, your social investment partner in the Eastern Cape.
Kids these days are smart, and when you're competing for their attention against their smartphones, you need to make smart choices, like using Sunfoil triple refined pure sunflower oil in every meal you make. It's naturally cholesterol-free and approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation as part of a balanced eating plan. So whether you're cooking, frying, or baking, you get the great tasting results that'll get their attention faster than the latest app. And if that doesn't work, change the Wi-Fi password. Sunfoil. Now we're cooking.
It's a new beginning. It's a new era. Salam Media, humanitarian journalism.
The time is 12:17. You're tuned into the mid-morning talk with me, Fazila Isaac, on Salam Media. We are joined by the founder of Bags of Love, Susan Harwood. Susan, we were speaking about the positive impact that the communities are receiving from Bags of Love. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, yeah, again, that's it's so it's such a deep issue. I think one of the big things that has shown the country and is it's healing a racial divide to a large extent. It's making people aware that we are all one, we are all helping one another regardless of race, and I think that has change people's perceptions a lot. But I mean, it's not only due to Bags of Love, it's all the wonderful organizations who are doing similar things. And to me, that's really, really important. It's also allowing people, if you have an organization, allowing other people in your own community to contribute, because a lot of people want to do good, but they don't know how to apply it. And there is that big feel-good factor as well. People feel really great to get involved, and so this opens up opportunities to them. Spreading awareness of what actually goes on in not only in impoverished communities, but all communities where, there's gender-based violence, and that's been exacerbated by people being jobless and due to COVID, and the needs in the impoverished communities are just never ending. I mean, it's just, it's really sometimes very, very challenging emotionally, but I think all of us just find solace in the fact that we know we're trying to do something, at least for helping some people. So that keeps us going. And when we see people being helped, being fed, getting beautiful clothes to start going out and looking for jobs again after they've been in the place of safety, for example, or people who've lost all their possessions, including all their clothing except what they were wearing on the day of the fire. That's a big thing as well. So at least we look at the comfort of giving them a meal, giving them a pillow to lay their head on, providing with bedding and toiletries to try and maintain their dignity following a trauma like that. And yes, just giving people a chance to make a fresh start again after they've had a traumatic crisis.
I think this kind of support is needed, especially, you come out of that kind of crisis, and the last thing that you need is then to be in need, should I say, So it's really, really beautiful to see work like this being done in these communities, and especially helping people who are in need of your assistance. What advice do you have for people out there who have a desire to make a difference, just like yourself? Where do they start? What do they do,
I think if people have the time and inclination, it's a good place to start is with your family and your friends, and I think decide on how you would like to help people. If it is going to be something like filling pre-loved handbags with essentials and giving them out to homeless people, or to organizations where they need them, like orphanages or places of safety, safe havens. I think, choose how you want to start, and then just keep focusing on that and spreading the word, using your social media, and telling your friends and family what your intentions are and how you'd like them to get involved. And I think people will be very surprised to see how quickly people jump in to help. So, that's the best thing. So take sort of baby steps first, and then go from there. And you'll see it just mushrooms. And everything is about intention, I believe. So if your intention is good, you're doing it for the right reasons, you're not doing it for recognition, and you're doing it for the good of other people, I don't think you can go wrong. I do believe that love always wins, and if you do things with love in your heart, you'll succeed.
And where to from here for the organization? Are you hoping to have it grow bigger? Because I know you have been working from your premises. What are you looking forward to when it comes to because sometimes also when organizations grow too big, and then that effect that you have, it starts getting lost somewhere. I love the fact that yours is so intimate and so impactful at the same time. But what does the future look like? What are you hoping for with Bags of Love?
Wow, that's quite a question, but I do agree with you. We do love, as you say, the intimacy which we have, because we're well known in this community. And honestly, I've said it before this morning, but the Dainfern community is absolutely outstanding. There's a lot of people who are like-minded, and we have regulars who support us in huge ways. I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it to get too huge. I'm quite happy the way we're chugging along, although we could do, as I say, with a lot more funding and a lot more supplies of food in particular, parcels, non-perishables in particular. And just to, people outside Dainfern community support us as well, obviously, and in various ways. We get deposits into our account to help for certain projects that we publicize, or people contact me with clothing that they've got, etc. It's a good size, but I think we should intensify particularly food and sanitary pads and school supplies.
And tell me, how can people make contact with you or with your organization?
I have a page on Facebook, and it's called Susan Harwood Bags of Love. So that's quite easy to find. And we put out requests there and, keep in touch with people as much as we can. It's just incredibly busy. So they can look me up there or email me. And our email address is surname with an S at the end. So it's Harwood, HARWOODS @netactive.co.za.
Susan, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for the work that you guys are doing, you and your kids as well. Beautiful work in the Dainfern community. Thank you so much for your time. And I really wish you all the best with your organization and the community growing in leaps and bounds. Have a good afternoon.
Well, thank you so much, Fazila, and we really appreciate this time with you, because it creates more awareness about what we're doing, and that always helps to attract more funding, and we're really grateful for what you're doing. Wonderful work. Thanks, Fazila.
Only
All
a
the best.
pleasure. Thank you so much, Susan.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day. Bye.
You too. Bye.
That was Susan Howard of the Bags of Love Foundation, doing beautiful work in the Dainfern community. Love the fact that it has filtered down to her family as well. Beautiful, intimate family organization dealing in the Dainfern community. The time is now 12:26. We're going to take an ad break. When we come back, our journey to Islam. Don't go anywhere.
Rejuvenate